Hey YouTube, welcome back to Cassandra's Kitchen, where I eat to live and not live to eat. Today we're going to be making a loaded barbecue baked potato. Yes, you heard me right, a loaded barbecue baked potato. And if you're interested in seeing how I create the barbecue for this potato, stay tuned and I'll show you. Alright everyone, so this is what we're going to be using for our barbecue today. It is jackfruit. This is young green jackfruit in brine. I use the AROY-D brand. It looks like this, and it's got really little fibrous meat texture to it, and I'll bring it up close when we get to the stove and you can see that a little more up close. But this is the AROY-D brand. This is in brine, not syrup. If you get syrup, it's going to be too sweet. So you want to get the young jackfruit because it's not as ripe and it's going to be more of a meaty texture. So this is what we're going to be using to make our barbecue today. And we're going to put a few different ingredients in here. Oh, I got this brand, the AROY-D, from my local Asian market. They do have also jackfruit in a can at your Sprouts and Whole Foods, I know for sure. Now, if you get the big jackfruit that you're going to cut, it's great for using for fruit and eating it. The fruit tastes amazing. It's very tropical, but it's not very great for this recipe, only because it's going to be too sweet and the texture is going to be a little more mushy as you cook it. So, FYI. So what we're going to do, I'm going to go ahead and however you would season your barbecue rub, like if it was your pulled pork or your chicken, shredded chicken, however you would season that, that's how we're going to season this. So a few things I'm going to put in mine. I'm going to use some Worcestershire sauce. This is the vegan Worcestershire sauce. It's vegan because it doesn't have anchovies. So if you find one that's anchovies, that's the only reason that makes it not vegan. I'm going to just douse a little bit of that in here. Another thing I want to use, my husband always soaks his meat in liquid smoke. So if you're not using a smoker, you want that smoke taste, you can use some liquid smoke. I'm going to put about 2 tablespoons of liquid smoke in here. He'll probably say go 3, so I'm going to add 1 more. Okay, we got our liquid smoke. Also, what we're going to use, if you're going to use salt, you don't need Spike. I'm using Spike because it is an array of different seasonings, so I'm just going to use Spike. I won't use no other salt because I don't like a lot of sodium, but you want that salt in there, so I'm going to put about a teaspoon of Spike. And this in the brine is only 170 milligrams of sodium, which some of them are a lot higher than that, so watch your sodium on those cans. I've seen it all the way up to 500 or 600, so that's pretty low considering. I'm using some ground cumin, and you guys know I say season to your own likings. I'm going to be using some smoked paprika. And this would be if I was just making a rub. This is going to be a little bit of ground ginger. I'm using some ground mustard. Now, I always put a little brown sugar in my rub mix for sweetener. I'm using the brown monk sugar. Just going to sprinkle a little bit of that, not very much. Just a little. And we're going to get this kind of all tossed together in here. And if we need more seasonings as we go, we can add it. And just remember, we're going to be adding our barbecue sauce to this also. So just once you get the jackfruit in your skillet and it's cooking, you can really start to taste to see what other things you need in there. You can add that to it. Oh, I did forget my other 2 seasonings. Here is my black pepper. Just a teaspoon of black pepper. And I don't have any fresh garlic. I love using fresh garlic in my skillet with my onions, but I don't have any, so I'm going to be using the granulated garlic powder. I'm going to put 2 teaspoons of that in here because I'm out of garlic. I usually use both. Okay. So again, just give all this stuff a good toss. Keep all that liquids and stuff going. You can let this marinate if you want it to overnight. It'll probably get that liquid smoke and that the Worcestershire sauce kind of infused in the jackfruit. But because I wanted to show you guys, we're gonna go ahead and put this on. I think it'll be fine. Oh, another thing I wanted to tell you, usually when you do you get your jackfruit in the can, you can see where there's little holes where the seed, it's a real tender seed because it's been soaked in brine. I'd like to pop them out, the little seed and the little seed shell, like it's like a little coating that the seed is in. I just pop that out. Some people just take it and cook it with it in there. I pop it out because the texture is slightly different. So that's up to you. You don't have to, but I do, because I just want it just to be that whole meaty texture. So that's what I've done. I've mixed everything in the jackfruit. It's coated really well. So next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna go over to the stove. I'm gonna get some caramelized onions going. I'm gonna put my jackfruit in the skillet, and then we'll go from there. We'll get our sauce in there. We're gonna let this kind of cook a little bit. And this is all you do to make our barbecue. So come on over to the stove and we'll work from over here. All right, so we have a little bit of avocado oil that I'm just using in the pan just to go ahead and get my onions in here. Like I said, normally I would put a little garlic in here as well. I didn't realize I was out of garlic, and I figured, oh well, we're gonna do without the garlic today. And my husband mentioned to add a couple of this roasted garlic seasoning he likes to use. It's good for rubs as well, so I'm gonna put a couple tablespoons of that in my mixture also. He's my barbecue man, so he said to add that. It's going to add more flavor. I was like, okay. I'm putting that in here. And as I mentioned, we're going to just get this on top of the onions because these onions are still going to be able to cook. But I'm going to go ahead and just start getting the jackfruit on top of my onions. Get all that seasoning, liquid, and everything out of the dish. So I want everything. So I'm going to grab my spatula because I want the seasonings in my dish and not wash down the drain. So that's why I normally would put the seasonings in over here at the stove, but I thought it'd be easier for the camera for you guys to see it over there. So I just want to get it all out of my bowl. Okay. Yep. Alrighty. And so you can see, this is what I wanted to bring a close-up to you. You can kind of see how it's kind of got that little shredded, meaty texture in there. See that? It just looks like a piece of pork or something, pulled pork. See how that looks? It's really weird how that resembles pulled chicken or pulled pork. So that's what we're looking for. That's why this turns into a really great barbecue, because of the texture of, let me get my spatula out here, because of the texture. And so all you want to do is just let this cook down a little bit. So I'm going to just start breaking these pieces apart. Look at that. That looks just like a piece of meat. It's chunky. It's got the great texture to it. It resembles chicken or pork. So that's what we want here. So get this all cooked down. Kind of get this shredded up in here. Yep, there's a lot of things you can do with these, and so we're gonna come back with some other ideas for the jackfruit on some other videos here, because I'm telling you, you can do so much with this. This is just one thing that it's great for, but there's so much you can do with these jackfruits. The fruit of the jackfruit tastes really good if you get it fresh, like the whole fruit itself. I actually got one, was going to do the barbecue with it, and it actually was way too sweet. The fruit was amazing, so if you want to put it in a smoothie or just eat it as fruit, great. But for barbecue, the texture is not there. It loses its texture as it gets ripe, and it was really sweet. So too sweet for a barbecue. We did try it with the fresh whole fruit. My husband said it was more like a sloppy Joe sandwich than it was a pulled pork sandwich, because it was just mushy. So just FYI, if you are going to use the whole fruit, maybe make sure it's not ripe and young. But I like it because this is already in the brine. It's just, the texture is amazing. Look at this, guys. Like, for real. Look at that. You tell me it don't look like a piece of chicken or a piece of pork. Just look at that. It just blows my mind how it just resembles meat. So I'm going to let this cook a little bit down. I don't want to get it too out of its texture. You know, I was going to add just a little bit of broth in here just to let it simmer. I don't want to do too much. I don't want to get it too wet. You know, I don't want to get it to where it loses the texture. But I may just put just a little bit of broth in here just to let this simmer down some. Let me grab that for a moment. Okay, I'm just using a vegetable broth, low sodium. Like I said, I try to always watch things that's packaged, because you know it's got sodium in it. So that's one thing that I like to keep an eye out on. So this is gonna be so good. And I like, for my pork, I don't want it all I like some of it to be kind of chunky. I don't know, like whenever I have barbecue, I like to keep some of it kind of chunky style for my sandwiches and stuff. So I don't want it shredded completely down. Now you can, you know, if you want to have it completely shredded down, you can do that. But y'all know my husband, and y'all know him, when he eats food, he's big on texture, and he's big on, you know, it's not like meat. He likes things with a texture. So I'm not going to break it completely down, because I want him to be able to have a bite, you know, like, you know, just some texture, like a meaty texture. Because I ain't trying to have this conversation with him during the taste test, and he give y'all that look. Y'all know he going to tell you the truth. So we just going to keep it at that. But I'm going to kind of keep some of this kind of chunky style barbecue, you know what I'm saying? Like, so we gonna have this going, but I do want it to really cook down. Just put a little bit more of this in here. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna let this cook for about 30 minutes, just really simmer on the stove. I'm gonna put a lid on it, let this go. I'm gonna put some barbecue sauce on it in a little bit too. I'll come back and let y'all see that. But I just really want this to kind of simmer a bit on the stove. So I'm gonna get my lid. Okay, and we're gonna let that just cook. And so I'll be back to let you see what it looks like here in a few. All right, so this is cooked down. The liquid's cooked down on it. It's been cooking for about 15-20 minutes. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do now is start putting some barbecue sauce on it. And you can use whatever barbecue sauce you want. Today I'm using this G. Hughes hickory flavored barbecue sauce. And then we're gonna need more barbecue, of course, sauce. So I'm gonna have to add more barbecue sauce to this. of it. Tastes good. And we're just going to continue to let this cook just a little bit now. Some people do take it from this point and stick it into the oven, or you can serve it straight from the top. If you want to dry it out, some people like really dry barbecue, you can put it in the oven. I think it's going to be good here, but I'm going to let it just set for a second and let these barbecue flavor get down in here a little bit more. Like I said, I probably need to add just a little bit more barbecue sauce to this, but I'm going to wait and see. Once it cooks for about another 10 minutes, what the flavor is like. I don't want to overdo it, but just looking at it right here, this is where we're at so far. Look at that. See that texture, meaty texture down in there? That's going to be our pulled pork. Looks good. Okay, just wanted to let y'all see. All right, so this is what we're going to do next. We're going to add it to our lining sheet. We are going to stick it in the oven for a few minutes just to let it sit in there and bake for about maybe 15-20 minutes. See, it's still good and chunky. I'm going to add a little bit more barbecue sauce on it because I think that's going to help it by putting it in the oven. So we're going to get this here. And I've lined my cookie sheet with some parchment paper because I like easy cleanup. Because, you know, barbecue sauce sticks. So far, it's looking good. It's looking chunky like meat. I just want to make sure we get that integrity of barbecue flavor and taste. So I think getting it in the oven for a few minutes is going to work it out a little bit better. Probably help it to... It could dry a little bit, you know, it's not too mushy, but we can put it in the oven. I got my oven set to 375, so y'all can see that. I'm going to put it in there for probably about 15-20 minutes. If I go longer, if I take it out, because I'm going to just watch it and see what it's doing, I will let you guys know what I actually did. So, and I'm glad I didn't mush it all the way up because you still got some chunks in there. That's what I wanted, to still have some chunks in there. So okay, so what I'm gonna do, got a little different barbecue sauce. I found a little bit more. I'm just gonna spread a little bit of barbecue sauce on this while it's in the oven, just to give it that good barbecue. Just coat it real good. Okay. We want that full flavor. And depending on how much sauce you like, you can do more or less. Everybody likes barbecue a different way. Okay. So we're going to get this in the oven. And we're just going to let this go for probably about a good 15-20 minutes. I'm just going to add just a little hair more of this. Okay. There we go. This is going in my oven. Like I said, for probably about a good 15-20 minutes. So I'll let you guys know. I'm going to start off at 15 and we'll come back. All right, guys, so here it is. I think we are good to go. So what I did, I had it in the oven for 15 minutes, looked at it, kind of flipped it a little bit, put more sauce on it, let it go for another 15 minutes. So total in the oven for 30 minutes. And it kind of dried it out to more of the barbecue texture that I wanted. Look at that. Looks like that just shredded meat. Look, y'all, this looks just like shredded pulled pork or chicken. And it tastes actually really good. I did take a sneak taste. So we're going to go ahead and prepare this for our dish. And I'll let y'all see what it tastes like. All right, guys, so we are ready to top our baked potatoes. So we have a large russet potato that we baked in the oven. I'm going to be using a little bit of vegan butter just to put down in the potato because you can't have a baked potato without butter. So we're going to put some vegan butter in here. This is hot too, so get that all mushed down in our potato. I can just eat this by itself. This bad boy is massive too. Then this is just a little salt and pepper mixture I keep. This little salt and pepper down in my potato there. Okay. And what I did make too was some sauteed. I sauteed some green peppers and some onions. Just did a simple saute of some green peppers and onions. Gotta get some veggies down in here. So we're gonna get that loaded across our potato here. Okay. And then for our meat, we're gonna go over here to our barbecue. We're gonna load that on top of here. This is a loaded barbecue baked potato. And if you want to add more barbecue sauce at this time, you can. It's totally up to you. I have a little bit of green onion. I'm going to just do on top, which I should have did that after I put my other ingredients on here. And I'm going to put just a little bit of... okay. Yeah, my husband... he's stronger than me. He puts the lids on extra tight. And I can never get them off, but I ain't gonna tell him I said that. So I'm gonna put some jalapenos on here. Just because I can. Because this is a loaded barbecue baked potato. You know, when you go to most places, they have jalapenos for barbecue, right? So why not put it on your potato? Who said you can't? Okay? And then what I'm gonna do, just because I think it's going to be add a little nice kick. My vegan ranch dressing. Y'all know I make my own ranch. I do have that out on my channel as well. Let's see here. Just a little bit of ranch dressing on there. And let me get this out of the way. Stuff is just so heavy. Then I should put my onions on top like that. Bam. So you can do whatever you want to do in your potato. It's your potato. You can have it how you want to have it. But this is my loaded baked potato. Look at this. Y'all can see how delicious that looks. Look at that loaded baked potato with that barbecue. So you can add more barbecue sauce on there if you want. It's beautiful. So I'm going to have my husband come and help me, Mr. Coleman.
Yes.
Do you mind coming to help me today?
Yes, ma'am. My favorite time, as always.
All righty. Well, this is a loaded barbecue baked potato.
Loaded baked potato.
It's pretty, huh?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to get a picture of it. Because, you know, like, I'm a foodie. I love taking pictures of my food. Because I like putting them on my social media pages, and I like just having them in my little food folder. I like to get another angle just to make sure I got a good picture of it. Okay. So this is our loaded barbecue baked potato. Okay. And I want you to give it a try and let me know what you think. Looks good, right?
Yeah, it looks absolutely amazing. So we're going to see what it's really all about here.
It's hot now.
Yeah, I know it is.
You see the steam coming off of it. Okay.
I'm trying to be careful. You can go, I want to shove it down my mouth. Of course, I'll take two, you know.
Because the first one you just is a tease, so you got to get the second one to get that true taste. Or is it three?
I'm going to tell y'all, To be honest with you, them jalapenos, boy, good God Almighty.
Okay.
A little spicy there, but the barbecue in here, along with the onions and the green peppers and the what else you got here? Oh yeah, the ranch dressing sauce. Telling y'all something. This is off the chain.
Is it good?
It's the bomb.com.
Okay. So no more sauce. You didn't need no more sauce on the barbecue. Okay.
The flavor's there.
Okay.
The flavor,
The potato and everything.
the
is
potato, the
flavorful.
texture, everything's there.
Well, it must be good because he ain't stopped eating.
It's fantastic, y'all.
He ain't stopped eating. He's like, yeah, keep going, keep
You
going.
won't be disappointed.
So
It's really great.
Yeah, so just another way that you can, spruce up your potato.
Yeah.
We don't have potatoes all the time, but just to make it a little interesting to have a dinner as a potato, you can
just
put
like meat.
everything in the potato.
And meat.
And just, there you go, a complete meal in your potato. You have the protein, you have for the potato, you have your carbs, a few veggies in there. So, hey, it's a meal in a bowl, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so there you got it. Have it, guys. Loaded barbecue baked potato right from Cassandra's kitchen.
Absolutely amazing, y'all. You won't be disappointed. This is really good.
So yeah, you can throw a little vegan
Really
cheese
good.
on there. If you like cheese and things like that, you can put a little vegan cheese on there. I mean, you can just do whatever. It's a potato. You can put anything in your plate, some vegan bacon, whatever you want to do. But this is just something to get you started. This is great.
It's really good.
Try it and let me know what you think. And if you do like it, you know what to do. Give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up. And of course, share this video. Share with your family and friends. And if you haven't already subscribed, subscribe to Cassandra's Kitchen. Thank you, honey. I love you for always coming into the kitchen and giving me a helping hand. You are an amazing, amazing man, and I love you for that. Mwah. And hey, guys, thank you again from Cassandra's Kitchen into yours. Until next time, be blessed, and I love you guys. Bye-bye now.